to the Sellin' Podcast with Jeffrey Greif. Jeffrey has spent more than 45 years in sales and marketing. And for more than 25 years, he's presented sales seminars from large corporations to small businesses, as well as teaching university students all about the pride and passion of sales. Now, he's sharing that knowledge and practical advice with you to fast-track your journey to sales success. Whether you're selling a product, a service, or ideas, this is the Sellin' Podcast. And now your host, Jeffrey Greif.
Honor the gatekeeper. Especially if you are in business-to-business sales, you will be interacting with a gatekeeper. Early in my sales career, I was way too eager to meet with the decision maker, and I didn't understand the importance of the relationship with the gatekeeper. Because of my ignorance about this, I wasn't getting as many appointments and meetings with decision makers. Whether you are a business owner, a professional, such as an attorney, an accountant, a doctor, or a sales professional like me, you've got to understand the concept of the gatekeeper and how important your relationship is with the person we refer to as the gatekeeper. First, let's define the gatekeeper. The gatekeeper is anyone who works with and controls access to the decision maker. Someone who you almost always must interact with in order to schedule a sales meeting or a sales presentation. Typically, telephone or office receptionists, paralegals, secretaries, sometimes middle managers, and sometimes executive assistants. Staff who screen phone calls, office visits, sometimes even emails. They work with the decision makers, and most importantly, they protect the time and attention of the decision maker. The gatekeeper, therefore, can either make you or break you. Too many times I've heard sales managers or sales trainers teach strategies to, quote, get past the gatekeeper, end quote. Ugh. Get past the gatekeeper. That's the wrong way to look at these people. You don't want to get past the gatekeeper. You want them to be your ally. There are two ways you'll be interacting with the gatekeeper: by phone and by meeting, whether that meeting be by appointment or by cold call. Regardless, I highly recommend the following strategies when interacting with the gatekeeper. Number one, most important, when you first speak to or meet with a gatekeeper, ask them their name and use their name often. Write down their name, and if there is the slightest chance that you may be misspelling their name, ask them how to spell their name. Why do you want to spell their name correctly? You'll have to wait until strategy number 10 to find out. Number 2, realize that the gatekeeper isn't some inanimate object to overcome. That's ridiculous. They are human beings. They are there to assist the decision makers and hopefully to assist you as well. Number 3, do your best to find out what, if any, influence the gatekeeper has on the decision maker. One of my best clients for almost 30 years became my client because I showed respect to his gatekeeper, his secretary. Oh, by the way, his secretary, she was also his wife. He became one of my very best clients for almost 30 years. He recently retired. Number 4, as you come to understand more about the firm and the gatekeeper, think of ways you may be able to help the gatekeeper. This is a challenge, of course, because you're not spending a lot of time with the gatekeeper. Could be personally, could be business. I'm thinking about a secretary I met years ago whose son was about to go to college. I had recently read an article that I thought the young man might find of interest, and I sent it to her. In some small way, she appreciated the effort. So I know it's a challenge, but As you come to understand the firm and you come to understand the gatekeeper, do think of ways that you may be able to help the gatekeeper. In this particular example about the secretary whose young son was going to college, she did appreciate it. Did I do this solely to have her help me? Of course not. Not really. It was just a nice thing to do for another person. And of course, she knew and I knew it was also because I wanted to do business with the firm. Eventually, they did become a client. Was it only because I gave her son the article of interest? Of course not. My point is, be aware and if possible, help the gatekeeper if you can. Number 5, be friendly with the gatekeeper. Even if they aren't being friendly towards you, be friendly. Smile. Understand that they are busy and their job, as mentioned before, is to protect the decision makers at the firm. The gatekeeper is there to protect their time and who it is that they're meeting with. The gatekeeper may be abrupt. Don't take it personally. Until you prove to them that you will be providing valuable service to their boss, the gatekeeper won't be too interested in spending time with you. Smile and be friendly. Be polite, confident, and friendly. Number 6, develop rapport with the gatekeeper as quickly as possible. I will be discussing the strategy of mirroring and matching on a future episode of the Sellin' Podcast that you will not want to miss. In the meantime, Google the term mirroring and matching and learn a little bit about it. You want to connect with the gatekeeper on a human level. Say please and thank you, be cordial, and be aware of their physiology. If they are seeming to be annoyed or quick to get you out of the office, ask one quick question, say thank you, and leave. Number 7, interaction with the gatekeeper is for 2 purposes only: develop rapport and glean as much information about the firm that you possibly can. Number 8, ask questions. The very first question I ask when meeting a gatekeeper for the first time is, I wonder if you can help me. Then I ask questions such as, who is the best person to speak to about whatever it is you're selling? Ask, who is the decision maker? Who is the decision maker's secretary or paralegal? How best to contact the decision maker? Can the gatekeeper make introductions today or at some future time? Ask if the gatekeeper can assist you in scheduling a future appointment. If not, ask them who can. Does the gatekeeper know who the firm is already using for whatever product or service you sell? Keep asking as many relevant questions as you can in order to learn as much about the firm and the professionals that work at the firm. But be careful. Be mindful. You want to ask as many questions as possible, but not to the point of annoying the gatekeeper. Be aware of their tone and their physiology. Have an awareness of their acceptance or their rejection of you. If you push too much, you may upset them and risk them closing the gate on you. Slam! If they are curt or even if they are rude, it doesn't mean they are rejecting you, and it doesn't mean that they will always act this way. Most likely, they are just busy. And as mentioned earlier, they may not yet understand the value that you may have an opportunity to provide to the firm. They may be more accepting of you on another day. And here's a quick strategy to use if a gatekeeper is letting you know that you are no longer welcome in their office. Say thank you, smile, turn, and walk away. Take 2 or 3 steps. They will be relieved. They're finally getting rid of you. You're leaving the office. Now they can get back to work. Their guard is down. Quickly turn back and say, oh, one more thing, and ask one more question. Be sure to smile when you do that. Quick turn. Oh, one more thing, and ask one more question. You'll almost always get one more answer to one more question. Smile, say thank you, and leave. And never do that twice. It only works once. Number 9, don't ever make a formal sales presentation to the gatekeeper. That would be ridiculous. The gatekeeper very rarely ever makes a purchase decision. You're asking questions in order to learn more about the firm. You're developing rapport with the gatekeeper. You're asking questions. You're learning more about the firm. You're asking questions to learn more about the person who does make the purchase decision. The gatekeeper can assist you or block you, but they very rarely can buy from you. Number 10, send them a handwritten thank you card. That's why you always ask for the spelling of their name. I write in a thank you card, a handwritten thank you card, to the gatekeeper. Could be a secretary, could be a receptionist. I always write a thank you card, a handwritten thank you card. I write, thank you very much for your kind assistance today. It was a pleasure to meet you. Warm regards, Jeffrey. I know gatekeepers, that is secretaries, receptionists, executive assistants, paralegals, who I have had my handwritten thank you cards on their desk or taped to the wall of their office for more than 20, 30 years or more. They see that card every day, and they know that I appreciated their efforts very much and that I showed them the respect that they deserve. Almost no one shows respect to the gatekeeper, but I always do. Genuinely, I do. From one professional to another, from one human being to another. It's effective when selling your product or service, and most importantly, it's a nice way to do business with other people, and it's a nice way to go through life. Show respect to everyone, to the decision makers and to the gatekeepers who protect them. Now get out there and sell.
We hope you found this episode of the Sellin' Podcast helpful and of interest. Please make sure to like, rate, and review, and mention this podcast to a friend or a business associate. Have a comment about this podcast? Have a topic you'd like Jeffrey to discuss? Feel free to contact Jeffrey directly at jeffrey@sellin.net. He'll read and review every one of your emails. That's jeffrey@sellin.net. .net as in networking for success in sales. Now, take what you've learned today and get out there and sell. See you next time on the Sellin' Podcast.